Hello my loves, welcome back to my channel. My name is JACQUE-BELLE. For my new time subscribers and for my old time subscribers, I truly appreciate your love and support. Today's video is gonna be all about foundation tips. So if you want to know some tips on how you can achieve a smooth and flawless foundation look as this, I suggest you watch this video till the end. But before we move on to that, if you haven't subscribed to this channel already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below and also hit the notification bell. That way you'll never miss another video from me again. Alright, y'all. So like I said earlier in my intro, today we just want to talk about some tips when it comes to foundation, some of the things you can do to have a smooth and flawless foundation, especially for beginners. So guys, the first thing we want to remember to do as always is to prime our face. So you want to remember to prime your face before going in with your foundation. And when it comes to primers, you really want to know what your skin type is. Like if you have oily skin or if you have dry skin or if you have a combination of both. You want to look for primers that will give your face that matte finish, that will put your oil under control. Matte foundation is what you want to look for if you have oily skin. And if you have dry skin, you want to look for illuminating primers. Because all you need to do, or all you want to do, is to add moisture into your skin, to hydrate your skin. So if you know you have dry skin, go in for illuminating primers. That will help hydrate your skin. That will help add some moisture into your skin. And when it comes to a combination of both skin, you can look for primers that have both the matte and the illuminating products in there. So I'm gonna be priming my face with this primer today. You see how my face is just switched from the oily to this matte finish? This is what mattifying primer does for oily skin. So now that my face is well primed, we're gonna move to the next step. So after your primer, whatever primer you use has been well absorbed into your skin, the next thing you want to do is to apply a loose powder before applying your foundation. I know previously in my other videos I talked about loose powder being used only to set your concealer in place, which that is the ideal. But for the sake of this video, especially if you have oily skin and you want your foundation to be smooth and flawless at the end, you can use any loose powder of your choice and then apply it before going in with your foundation. What you do with this process is just use your beauty blender or whatever you prefer. Just grab a little bit at the bottom of your beauty blender like this and then just press on your face. So some people use this all over their face, which is great, but for me, I focus on my T-zone. So the areas of your face where you crease or gets oily the most, that's where I'm gonna focus on my T-zone, like the forehead, my nose, and my chin. The next thing I'm gonna talk about right now is color correction. So if you want your foundation to be smooth as possible, you can color correct. So color correct is just like trying to cancel out the dark spots on your face. So if you're somebody who has so many black spots, or you're dealing with skin conditions like acne, then you want to color correct so that at the end of your makeup there are not going to be any blemishes or black spots, because sometimes our foundation and concealer cannot do all of that depending on how much spots you have on your face. So people tend to color correct so that they're gonna hide those dark spots before going in with their foundation. And when they color correct, they tend to use like rainbow shades of concealer, like orange, peach, very off shades to color correct, so that at the end of their makeup, there are not going to be any blemishes. It's gonna be smooth. So the next thing you want to know when applying your foundation is there's so many different types of foundation out there. We have like 8 types: liquid, creamy, foundation stick, airbrush foundation, serum foundations. There's so many types of foundation out there. But I am going to be focusing on only 3 because those are the 3 I use. Basically 2 out of the 3. So a liquid foundation, which is something like this. These are liquid foundations. It's liquid. It's pretty self-explanatory. Liquid foundations. And foundation sticks, something like this. That's what the foundation stick looks like. And of course, a creamy foundation, which I don't have that because I really don't like creamy foundation. Not that I cannot use it, but I really don't like using it because it's too difficult for me to blend that into my skin. That's the only reason. But creamy foundations are great. So those are the 3 types of foundation I'm gonna be talking about in this video. But like I said, there's so many of them out there. You can choose which one is best for your skin. And when it comes to choosing your foundation, you want to know what your skin tone is so you can get the right shade. So in order for you to do that, it just depends on where and how you try your foundation whenever you go to buy them. So usually before choosing my foundation, I always try them at the inner portion of my wrist, right there. And that will work, but not really the way I want it. It's not giving me the flawless look. Some people try it on their jawline right there. And I haven't tried that. I've tried the inner portion of my wrist, which it really doesn't give me a flawless look. So the newest technique I discovered was to try it around your chest neck area, like right there. Sorry, my shirt, like around there. And ever since I've been doing that, guys, it works great. So if you have a shirt you can pull down, you just take a little bit and apply it on your around your chest neck area, and you can see that, like you can see that it really blends with my skin. For some reason, I think whatever tone you have around your chest neck area is just the same as your face. So that's what I'm gonna suggest if you've been trying it on at the inner portion of your wrist or your jawline and it's not working. Just try this chest neck area and see what it does. It might work for you because it's working perfectly for me, guys. So today I'm gonna be blending these 2 foundation from L'Oreal Paris, and the shade is 101 Soft Sable, and I'm using the foundation from Maybelline Fit Me as well in the shade 355 Coconut. I've used this in my previous video, so I'm gonna blend both of them and then apply it on my face. So now that we've applied foundation, if you look at the face, it's flat. There's no difference. Everything just seems one, the same everywhere. But naturally, your face is not like that. Naturally, your face, if you take a good look at your face without any makeup, it has some areas are lighter than others. It doesn't have one effect like this. So whenever you apply your foundation, what it does is it covers your face. It covers everything, the dark spot, the blemishes. It does all of that. So now that the foundation has stolen some of the features on our face, we are going to bring them back. This is where all the highlights, the bronzing, the contouring comes to place to bring back all of those features into our faces that were stolen by the foundation. You don't want to leave your face looking just flat like this. I mean, it doesn't speak well because naturally your face is not like this. Some places or some areas of your face turns to be lighter than others. For me, my under eyes, my forehead and my chin, basically my T-zone area tends to be lighter than other parts of my face. That is where all the highlighting comes. So I'm going to start bringing back into my face all those features that were stolen. So firstly, I'm going to highlight my face to bring back the features. So now I'm gonna let this concealer dry off for a little bit before blending it. So while that is getting dry, I'm gonna move on to bringing another feature back into my face, contouring. So what contouring does is just shaping and defining your face structure. So what I'm gonna do right now is to contour my face with my foundation stick from Maybelline in the shade F because I've used that a lot in my video. And if you remember with your contouring, you want to go like the top of your ear and bring it all the way. I mean, you don't have to be all the way to your lip, but that's the trend you're gonna follow. So I'm just going right there with it and bringing it all the way to my forehead. And for my nose as well. So I'm gonna blend this into my skin using my beauty blender. And when you're blending your contour, the way you blend it depends on the type of forehead you have. So if you have a broad forehead, like a wide forehead, you want to blend your contour towards the center of your forehead, like so. Just but if you have a smaller forehead, you're gonna blend it away, like towards your hairline. That's how you're gonna blend it. So I'm gonna move on to my nose with a smaller brush. Next, I'm gonna be using my beauty blender to blend this concealer. I'm gonna go ahead and set my concealer in place with my translucent loose powder that I used earlier before in this video, if you remember that. So while that is baking, I'm gonna go ahead and contour. I'm just gonna use my contour powder to powder all over where I contour. And I'm gonna go in with this deep contour as usual. And for my nose, I'm using a smaller brush as always. So now I'm gonna use my powder brush with a face powder, set my foundation in place. That's another step you want to remember. That way your foundation is smooth and flawless. I'm using the same way you set your concealer in place with a loose powder. I'm using a face powder from Clinique in the shade Nutmeg to set my foundation in place. So today for my blush, I'm using a blush from this palette, the Nude Highlight and Contour. But even though it says highlight and contour, it has highlight, it has bronze, it has blush in it. So I am going to be going in with the shade Rosy Rosy for my blush today. So that's that for my blush. And for my highlights, I'm gonna be using one of my palettes highlighting powder from Wet n Wild. Used that before in my videos. So with your highlight, it's just on your cheekbones, the outer areas of your cheekbones. That's where you do your highlight. And as usual for my nose, a tiny bitty brush. Now that everything is looking nice and pretty, I am going to go with mine. Guys, you all know me by now. This cannot be omitted in my makeup. Makeup setting spray from Skindaniva. It is the bomb.com. So my face is dry, looking nice and pretty. I'm gonna move on to my eyes. So first things first, as always, priming my eyelids with my NYX eyeshadow primer. So I'm gonna use another brush to buff it out. I just blend it so it looks nice and smooth. I'm gonna move on to my eyeshadow. So today I want to kind of give my eye a smoky look. So I'm using my palette that says Pro Eyeshadow Case Smoky. So first I'm gonna go with this lighter shade of dark brown, create a transition, and then move on to this darker shade, and then to the darker shade of dark brown, then with the dark shade for the smoky eye. That's that for the transition. So I'm moving in with the next dark shade. So now I'm gonna move with the black eyeshadow for the smoky eyes. And for this, I just want to pat. So I'm gonna be using another brush. So now we're gonna blend it together using our blending brush. You want all the colors to now come together, so I'm just blending everything together. So now we're gonna move on to my eyeliner from Wet and Wild, as always. For my waterline, I'm using my gel eyeliner. I went ahead and finished up with my eyelashes and highlighted underneath my eyebrow, and now I'm gonna move on to my lips. So today I'm just, since the eyes are pretty black, we want to go with something bright on the lips to bring out your face. So all right, you all, this is the final look of this tutorial. I hope it was helpful. So when it comes to foundation, if you want to follow all of these tips that I shared on this tutorial, you are going to come up with a smooth and flawless look. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, as always, do not forget to give your girl a big thumbs up and also subscribe to this channel. And also hit the notification bell. That way you will be notified each time new video comes up. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next one. Bye bye.